Hi everyone, Dr. Remy from Pain Free and Fit. Today's rehab exercise, how to get the strongest abdominal muscles to help protect your low back spondylolisthesis pain. Hope you enjoy. So how do we strengthen our abdominal muscles to best prevent spondylolisthesis pain? As you've seen in many of our videos in the past, posterior pelvic tilting, where we pull the tailbone under and pubic bone up, rocking the pelvis posteriorly so that the lower back flattens, is a great way to protect excess extension and the forward slipping of spondylolisthesis vertebra. There are many abdominal exercises to help this, but unfortunately, most abdominal exercises are focused on crunches and sit-ups, ab chops, exercises that have the rib cage or the torso bending forward on the pelvis. But because most spondylolisthesis vertebrae occur at the L4 and L5, the lower part of the spine, bending from the top is going to do little to affect typically protecting that lower arch from increasing. So therefore, the posterior pelvic tilting motion, where we're tucking the tailbone under and pubic bone up, is a better way to open up that arch and to decrease the stresses that cause the vertebra from slipping forward. Now, you can do posterior pelvic tilting the way most people do, with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor, and that's great for beginners. But as you go along, when you really want to best strengthen your abdominal muscles, we need to increase the tension on the abs, or the challenge of pulling the pubic bone up. And the way we can do that is by straightening the legs. When the legs are down, they have a natural tendency to rock the pelvis into an anterior pelvic tilt. So this creates more of a challenge for your abdominal muscles to pull the pelvis into posterior rotation. From the beginning, you can do that with only one leg down if comfort does not allow both legs being down, because when both legs being down in an acute spondylolisthesis pain, that increased arch may hurt. So just bending one and having the other straight, you may be able to tolerate that. It may be comfortable, and that'll give you more of a tendency to challenge the abdominal muscles in that posterior pelvic tilt motion. You should do that symmetrically from right to left. Of course, if you have a tendency of one leg being forward compared to the other, where the hip flexors are tight on that side, or you habitually have that leg forward, that's the leg preferably that should be down. And you should not switch legs, because you want to train asymmetrically to build symmetry back into your hip flexors and your pelvic alignment. Also, increasing the resistance over time is the way we really best strengthen the lower abdominal muscles pull on that pelvis. And the way we do this is with a dumbbell. I'm going to be presenting a 40-pound bell, but you can start off lighter. If the bell is not comfortable laying at the top of your hips, then take a towel or a foam pad and place it against your body, and then the dumbbell on top. In this position, with the legs straight, as I posterior pelvic tilt, you'll notice that there's a lot more tension being exerted in the abdominal muscles, providing resistance to them and increasing the strength of the abs over time. Now, there's two ways of training using this exercise. The first is performing repetitions and holding each one for 2 to 3 seconds before releasing. The second is increasing the endurance time. How long can you hold that posterior pelvic tilt? This is important for people who have spondylolisthesis pain with extended walking. You'll need to be able to hold that tailbone under as you walk for longer and longer periods, and training with resistance is going to make that much easier. If using the repetition method, remember your goal is training both for strength and endurance. So on some workouts, you'll want to perform sets with lighter weights for higher reps, ranging from 50 to 100 reps. And in other workouts, you'll want to use enough weight to create more resistance, where you can perhaps only get 12 to 20 reps. Whether you're training for endurance, holding isometrically the posterior pelvic tilt for long periods of time, or you're training for repetition methods, building up the reps, remember that you need a day's rest in between workouts. Add 2 or 3 seconds to your isometric holds, or 2 to 3 reps for your repetition method as you advance through your program. So plug this exercise into your self-rehab program and let me know how you make out. Questions or comments, write in. As always, I'll do my best to answer. Give me a thumbs up to help share this valuable information with others. Subscribe to the channel to get our latest videos. And remember, if you want to delve deeper into what your unique core muscle weaknesses are, your muscle imbalances, your stability issues, your posture and movement tendencies and how they affect your low back pain, check out any of our healing low back exercise programs available at painfreeandfit.com.